Hello again, all of you cute beans out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, currently as Asher the Labramon, and this is Age of Wonders 4, where we are playing the vampires. We wiped out the giants, and now we're just kind of chilling for a bit before we go to probably take on the dwarves, since they are the closest to me, and the Cthulhu wannabe is on the entire opposite side of the map from me. So yeah, great times. We want to move out on me this. Oh, I guess they. Okay, fine. Ah, right. I need to pick up the tomb. I want to check out the new tomes. So it looks like the Tome of Torment is a new one. We already have the Bloodright one.
Just to spite Jits, I'm gonna play Thrawn's Revenge.
And then Tome of the Crimson Rain. What is that under? Ah, here it is. This is going to require her Chaos and Shadow Affinity. Alright. Ah, so I'll just unlock it once I get to that point. I just need one more of any tome unlocked. So where's the Tome of Torment? Unless I've already got that. Oh, here it is. Story.
Make their bodies tremble with torment. For every inch they move, they will pay with grunts of agony. Let suffering drip like honey across their pulsing skin. Make them bow. Make them beg. Make them plead to their bringer of pain. And save some torment for yourself. For suffering is best inflicted when enjoyed firsthand.
Ah, so not just sadism, but also masochism. Got it.
Oh,
You're
what?
good to talk.
Okay.
I'm slightly salty. Something had a 50-50 chance of happening, and I failed it 8 times in a row.
Ah.
Yes, the RNG gets reset between each attempt.
Ah, so I can get an upgrade for my race transformation of Painbound. Anytime they get hit by an attack, they gain morale and a random positive status effect.
Oh, hey, Gabby, they put you in the game.
What?
Plus morale every time they get hit.
Wow.
I mean,
I know, how
checks
thoughtful.
out.
How dare.
Because I can.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Alright, we'll go and pick that spell up. I don't really have much use for this rally.
So Jits, I don't know why you say that. Like, I also just kind of love Thrawn's Revenge. It's my main recommendation, if anything. Excuse me. They've also updated it. Hey, yo. So what do I want to play?
Thrawn's Revenge.
Yeah, but like what in Thrawn's Revenge?
Oh, I don't remember all the options.
Imperial, one of the Imperial warlords, or the Hutts?
The Hutts.
Okay. This is gonna be painful. Dear Lord.
So apparently my cities are able to just build outposts wherever I want them to. Oh, never mind. There was a hero with them.
I was about to be like, hey, yo, I want to play the Nomads more.
Yeah, I was like, geez, that's sweet, but not quite as awesome, but still fun.
Or for the fact that I really want to play Star Wars, you tell me playing Age of Empires 4 again. Age of Wonders 4. I feel like, as a streamer, you being able to have the check out what my superpower is, and then you just like play multiple clips of viewers being like, you make me want to play this game. Whenever like someone is like, so what do streamers do? Why should I pay a streamer? I feel like that's like your greatest strength. It's like, how you make me want to play a game. Instant advertisement. And it's not fair. You know what why is the Hutt carrier called the voracious carrier? Why are the Hutts like this? Oh, bruh. Also, it's probably yes. It doesn't seem like it received a big content update, but they did update some stuff. At the very least, they updated some of the UI in the main menu. But I'm guessing, in fairness, like, the main dev probably does shift their effort around depending on what they're primarily working on. But I also wouldn't be surprised to hear they often switched whatever they're working on just to not get tired or bored of the same thing. because like you can have your main effort on something, but every now and then like do a thing or two just because yeah. I can only assume it's not very fun to be doing the exact same thing over and over and over again.
Is this lost soul thing keeping me from claiming that territory? Really?
Lol.
Fine. I'll go deal with it.
You sound very excited to do so.
Yeah, definitely excited.
Okay. I looked at something for the first time ever, and I am now slightly mad at these devs.
Oh no.
What do they do?
One of the characters is known to be a massive and verbose nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So there is basically like event loadouts that you're able to if you have them, that you're able to equip and get bonuses for the current event, because they released the hard mode thing. So the things that came out when the original version of it came out get a bonus on, like, you know, some basically like extra thing you're able to spend. I just now read the names of the skills that the characters have. So each character has 3 skills: a defensive skill, a passive, and a support passive. The names are as follows. Skill 1. Though it must be prefaced that Ego Gears are standardized equipment. Skill 2. When juxtaposed with Ego Gear from L Corp, depending on the degree of attunement to the abnormality. Skill 3. The idiosyncrasies of the source may be utilized with greater flexibility. Defense. Yet the degree to which that the attunement and synchronization are achieved may resultantly allow the user to be devoured. Passive. This is reflected in their appearance, more closely resembling the source abnormality than ego of the former L Corp do. Support passive. Ego disintegration is not unlike decomposition of compost. When combined all together, the skill names of all of this person's stuff is, though it must be prefaced that Ego Gears are standardized equipment, when juxtaposed with Ego Gear from the L Corp, depending on the degree of attunement of the abnormality, the idiosyncrasies of the source may be utilized with greater flexibility. Yet the degree to which that attunement and synchronization are achieved may resultantly allow the user to be devoured. This is reflected in their appearance, more closely resembling the source abnormality than the Ego Gear of former L Corp do. Ego disintegration is not unlike a decomposition of compost.
Ooh.
That is all of the skills of the of this unit.
Am I the only one that did not understand any of that?
You're not supposed to. It is supposed to sound like a researcher that is just verbosely going over something that you do not care about at all.
Oh, okay, Zim, so it's just you listening to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're not supposed to agree. Yeah.
I cannot fucking believe that they did that shit. That is unbelievably nerdy. Come on, guys.
Unable to believe.
Oh my god, it's a unit that is supposed to go in and get killed as fast as possible, too. So it's supposed to be a verbose researcher rambling on that goes into a situation and immediately dies.
Bruh.
His passive is literally when he dies, will just straight up nuke all of the enemies with a horrible malice. So he's supposed to run in and die.
So he's Riv.
Yeah, it's like dealing with Riv.
Lamau.
Also, this character constantly makes puns about his own name.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? Only logical.
Unironically, in his original character introduction, he makes 5 puns on his own name.
So what are the puns? Just out of curiosity, you should say them out loud and clear.
Well, they're
For everyone
technically
to
speaking in a different language. However, in the language that the character is based off of, because all of these characters are based off of figures in literary works. This character's name is Yi-sang, which is also how you say ideal in Korean. And he's based off of a Korean writer. So he will constantly say that something is ideal or unideal, or that he doesn't know what the ideal is, which results in him constantly saying Yi-sang, his own name. It is the equivalent of someone being named Sirius and then making serious jokes constantly. Except they're also a super nerdy researcher.
At least they're cute.
Unironically, he is my favorite character in this.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be?
Even though they just blatantly ripped off Riv?
Don't worry, it's even better. His special attack is called Crow's Eye View. He is just my favorite.
So not just Riv, but Vayne as well.
Yeah, make it up.
Well, we're now at war with the dwarves. A shame.
No, but it's like this character was made for me to love them. They constantly make jokes about their own name. And his special attack is literally referencing crows. Like, come on. Also, his segment of the story is unironically still my favorite.
Literally made for you?
They've done more, like, epic stories, like, since his segment of the story, but, like, his section of the story was just so well written.
What does it entail?
Basically, he invented or discovered a mirror that could look into other like other alternate realities, and so he could talk with other alternate reality versions of himself. And basically he went around sharing this technology with people in order to give them joy, because you know, he thought it was a really neat, joyful thing to be able to look into other realities and talk with another version of yourself. However, technically speaking, he was also an underground researcher that was a part of an underground research group that was getting broken up by the powers that be in charge of the city that he lived in. And so there was basically a big argument over what to do with his mirror technology, whether to basically use it as collateral to get out of the situation that they were in, to let it be forgotten so that way it could never be weaponized, things like that. And basically, everything goes to shit. He joins our faction afterwards. And then we end up meeting up with one of his old coworkers that was a part of the research league he was in. In fact, the one that had basically sold them out. And then another third person from the old group is basically trying to kill both of them because she's really salty about how everything turned out. And basically, you just kind of, due to timeline shenanigans, have to watch all of it go down, while that character themselves is just standing there watching as everything goes to shit. And then like, you know, big emotional beats moment thing happens, and you know, he is a very like depressed character before his entire thing, and then like he willingly takes steps forward in the ending. And then you get a really nice scene where he does his crow's eye view attack, and because he was constantly talking about how he lost his wings, and then as he stabs the person who, you know, basically betrayed everyone, shattered mirror fragments showing other worlds spread out behind both of them, and he gets his wings back technically. It's just a really nice little story beat. Also, a song's playing while it's going on called Fly Broken Wings, so, you know.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little cheesy with it, but it's also a part of a setting that, let me just put it to you this way, it really makes stuff like Has-Been Hotel's setting look extremely inviting in comparison.
You know what?
You would honestly rather be in hell than in that place, so.
Cheesy as it might be, if it's genuine emotion expression, I still respect it.
Oh, it definitely is.
In fact, I respect it more.
In other news, Gip Gap Cute.
So true. He's a good boy.
I will commit a war crime.
It doesn't make you not a good boy.
And that also kind of makes
Wow.
you just cuter.
We're all tabletop gamers here. What makes you
Y'all.
think that committing a war crime would be a turnoff?
Y'all.
I have a group that explicitly has a joke about how when one of us is about to commit a war crime, we talk about how one of us needs to go make sarin gas in the bathroom in an overturned bucket.
Y'all.
The reasoning behind the joke, by the way, is that obviously we're going to get investigated for it, and we know not to touch the bucket. So when they touch the bucket, it'll just release the sarin gas on whoever's investigating us. That's the story behind the sarin gas bucket.
Y'all.
What? It's a good idea.
It's just good, wholesome fun for the whole family.
Whole family dead.
I was about to say in the basement, maybe.
Y'all.
You keep saying that. I'm beginning to wonder if you know what that means.
Oh, what do you mean I failed it? Your mom failed it. Ugh.
Puts the Gabby in the lap.
I will eat you.
Too bad. You're going to be in my lap.
It's great.
Where are you going to be while you're screeing?
On your lap.
Good boy.
The things I put up with.
I know, I'm just awful to deal with.
Just to please these dorks.
Don't worry, Jits, you're cute too.
I really should fill these armies out.
Generally a good idea.
Yep. Probably at least. One capital ship to every main defending fleet in hut space. This should at least ward them off.
Jeez, the number of the resource nodes that I'm currently over harvesting into my city right now. This city is
Incredibly
gonna
based.
be so full. And I am all here for it. Alright, let's move that army over there. You two just camp here and guard. And meanwhile, all of you, attack! Attack! I say attack! Hello, Kieran, and hello, Balasar.
Oh dear.
What'd you do this time?
You know how sometimes you play Empire at War, and it's like you get so used to seeing Star Destroyers that they're just kind of a thing,
Yeah.
and then you have to fight one, and it's like, oh, right, these are really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. It's like, yeah, it's an ISD. Yeah, you know, they're pretty easy to knock out and stuff. Oh, right, I have to fight multiple of them. Time to suffer. If I can make them hurt for it, I'll make them hurt for it. Make them bleed.
I wish that I could force my armies to, or force my vassals to, you know, get various things like a teleporter so I could reinforce them.
No. No teleport for you. Only suffering. Must walk. Must attrition. Look, to be fair, right? I did have a funny comment on it. You know what the most painful attrition system I think I've experienced in a long time is?
What?
Victoria 2s.
So true.
So if you're playing a game that runs on ticks and or turns, when do you expect to suffer attrition? Usually like at the end of the turn, at the end of the tick, right?
Yeah.
Victoria 2's attrition on a province per province level works on arrival.
Yep.
So let's say you move with an army too big on a province too small, and your army takes like 2% attrition. The moment you arrive in the province, you instantly take the attrition damage. So if you have 100,000 men, you walk into a province too big, 5% attrition, bam, you lost 5,000 troops. And then it also happens at the end of the month. So if you walk into a province with 100,000 men, 5% attrition, at like the 29th of March, 5%, you lose 5,000 men immediately, takes over to like, you know, 30th of March, 31st of March, April, bam, another 5,000 dead, or like 4,000 and something. If you accidentally move, like, you know, the provinces have a size limit. Below that number of men, your armies don't take attrition. So, like, you move into a province that has 30,000 men as a limit, like 30 size limit, with 30,000 men, you're fine. Oh, it's winter. The limit dropped to like 28,000. You take attrition on arrival and at the end of the month. Because screw you. You move 2 armies into the same province by accident. They take attrition when they arrive at the same province. Most of their other systems have thankfully done it at the end of the month. So you have at least a little bit of time to move out of the province before you take the attrition hit. But Victoria 2 says it's truly special. If you make the mistake of ever moving through bad terrain with a lot of men, you will see your 400,000 man army go like 400, 350, 310, 260, 230, 200, 190,000. Like you just lose the entire army as it moves across a bunch of provinces.
Well, that definitely sucks.
Literally one of the worst attrition
Yeah,
systems
it's
I've ever
really
seen.
bad. It's like infamously bad. And I've played a lot of Victoria too. How much do I have in Vicky too?
Too much.
It's only triple digits. Jennifer, I also haven't played it in like 4 years, so you know.
Yeah. I used to not have it on Steam. So I know I've lost a lot, but yeah.
Jits, the main problem is that the attrition system will basically get you multiple ways. If it just picked one way and stuck to it, it would have been fine. That's why it's especially annoying. Because if it was just only when you walk into a tile, then you could play around it.
It's not that it's overdoing it. It's that so Victoria processes thing. It's both an inconsistency in game design and it's overdoing it. You either do it on arrival or you do it on an end of the month tick. The problem is everything runs on end of the month tick or daily ticks and so on. So, for example, if you have an army too large for a province, they do take attrition at the end of the month. So if you leave 100,000 men in a province that only supports 10,000, by the end of the year, those 100,000 men will easily turn into like 40, 30,000 men. You know, every month they take a hit of attrition. There's not enough food, some of them are getting sick, there's not enough infrastructure to support that many men in that province. They take attrition, and that's fine, you're right. But, then it also hurts on arrival. So you arrive in the province, take attrition, end of the month, take attrition. You move into another province, take attrition, end of the month, take attrition. So it's both overdoing it in that aspect, but also it's unnecessary because the end of the month tick is what's meant to hit the punishment.
Victoria 3 actually uses an entirely different attrition system, so you don't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Actually,
I
I
love
like
it, but it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like microing army. Not in Vicky 2 at least.
I mean, the thing is that, like, for the period in which it's in, I definitely appreciate Victoria 3's approach to, you know, war and all that. The only real big problem that I have with it is that sometimes the front system is wildly inconsistent in what is considered a front. Because sometimes you'll have a front that spans the entire border like it should, and then sometimes it'll be like, hey, you see this one province? There are 4 fronts in this one province.
It's so annoying because they've almost fixed it. Like, it feels like they're getting closer every time. But then, you know, suddenly a new front opens in the Alps because the British Raj invaded with 100,000 men. They cross into the Alps, completely bamboozle into your territory, and it takes you 2 months to send units over there. You're like,
Sure, these are things.
It is quite strange whenever it happens.
yeah.
It's a lot better than Launch, though. I'll give it that.
Yes. For the context, basically, Victoria is a game series that spans the years. It's basically the 1800s or early 1900s. So it's meant to be the large-scale industrialization.
Like late, like 1800s to like the
1930s.
like basically like the end of the interwar period between World War I and World War II.
So the game is overall meant to span like industrialization, modern political developments for a lot of parts of the world,
Spreading
like
it for
the ends
Africa.
of colonization. Yep. And it's kind of like that Great Powers era, which is the main reason why Vicky tends to be fun, because you can play any country, but it's really fun to play one of the big countries. So like if you're playing France, the UK, the US, Russia, you're always in this kind of like big chess game with every other major country. Against the AI, they're kind of predictable, but you're still kind of like competing for influence over countries you want in your spheres of influence, countries that you want to establish markets over. You want those resources, you want that stuff. And as the game goes on, all of those resources start to feed your industry, and you can find yourself like, oh, I need rubber. Cool, you can import rubber from this Italian colony, but then what happens if you go to war with Italy? Where does your rubber go?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there go your airplane factories.
Or if even worse, one of your main political rivals starts trying to take that colony from Italy. Because then you start joining wars that you yourself barely get anything out of, and it's more about preventing your main rivals from like getting this thing and keeping it from you. So it ends up being very fun. It is a very generally speaking, there is almost no point in playing the more middle of the road countries. Either you're playing one of the big boys, like great powers are on the cusp of becoming a great power, or you start as a random fucker in the middle of nowhere and you try to claw and scrape your way into recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's generally like the two popular play styles.
The really, really neat thing about it, I have my issues with Vicky 3 for sure as a game, but the thing I've really enjoyed that they've delved into as a whole is it's very sandboxy. Like Victoria 2 is a very punishing game. Like if you play Vicky 2 and you mishandle your country, you can absolutely get stuck in a never-ending cycle of rebellions because like your people don't like your government, so they rebel. But you have enough people that they don't like the new government, so they rebel and overthrow it. And then the previous people who like that government don't like the new government, so they rebel and overthrow it. And you just get stuck in a constant loop of rebellions. Your country like implodes and you die.
Also
That
known as
can
playing
happen
France.
or Russia.
Yeah.
So that can happen.
Especially those two countries. It can happen to anyone, though.
I've seen it happen with the US. Vicky 2 is also like, you have kind of less direct control. Vicky 2, you end up playing more with like bigger picture industry and resource conquering, but you don't really get to like develop an industry directly unless you're playing with the right government type, because if you play
Oh, I just got 14 nodes that I just finished absorbing into my city.
in your city one
nice.
per. Are you playing with a mega city one?
I've got a couple of... I've got a few cities.
Okay, yeah, so it's not the one. Okay. Still disgusting.
And
And now you pack it up and you move to a new area, don't you?
after I finish this one. There's one more left in this spot.
You do get the magic materials, right?
Yep. They are also consumed, and like I've got 3 Essence of Tranquility pulls in my city right now.
You're disgusting.
Thank you.
The instant I read how that worked, I was sitting there like, oh no, Zim is gonna like this, isn't he?
Very much so.
I remember reading it out loud, and my thought was, "Oh no, we have awakened the monster."
I am embracing
It's
the evil.
I can tell. Ah, goodness. But yeah, just Vicky 2 has always been like a really cool game. It absolutely like notable because I think what it did best was the diplomacy of grand strategy. Like literally absorbing a country into your sphere of influence gives you all of its resources and gives you access to its market. And playing with that kind of thing is so much fun because it's the thing you have the most direct control over, like your diplomacy, your military. But your internal politics, they definitely struggle. Vicky 3 is like the opposite. Like a lot of your diplomacy and international politics can be a little difficult to manage, but your internal politics are rock solid. Like handling that, especially with the new changes to interest groups and the like, absolutely peak. You will never find yourself hating the aristocracy more than if you play Victoria 3.
That
Because
is so true. Nothing will make me hate the landowners more. Like, holy fuck, shut up.
Like, okay. Let me ask you some basic questions.
Alright, let's pack up the city. Who are you asking questions of?
Like, here's a simple one. So, do you think having a literate population is good?
Yes.
Do you think public schools are good?
Generally.
What about healthcare?
Oh, absolutely.
What about having a military and not peasants as levies?
Well, definitely.
What about, like, I don't know, women's rights?
Will you get to the point here?
The landowners let you do nothing.
They are actively against literally everything he mentioned. Not passive, not neutral, literally actively against all of it.
If you go into a game of Vicky 3 and you're like, hey, what if we ban slavery? They will revolt. Active. Like, they literally...
What if we get rid of serfdom? Rebellion.
They are the impediment of progress. It's so difficult to express how much everyone hates the landowners, except for the fact that, like, Victoria 3 released, and 2 days later the subreddit was already like, I hate the landowners, I hate the aristocracy, I hate these people, I hate the nobility. Where are the French when you need them?
Literally, there were people that were giving out guides for how to make them rebel as fast as possible so you could crush them as fast as possible and never let them get political power ever again.
That's my favorite part of Vicky 3. Handling that internal politicking, especially nowadays, is so sick. And you can absolutely get some really fun situations like, oh look, your landowner leader died and it turns out the new person in charge is a radical abolitionist, like, hyper-progressive reformer. And you're like, oh, that's like a 1 in a million chance. But suddenly the most powerful and important, like, political group in my country wants to do all the things I want to do. Alright, I guess we don't need to get rid of them. And then you, like, within 10 years, your country goes from, like, ew, what do you mean public schools, to, like, a utopia. And then, I don't know, your military doesn't like that you give people democracy, so they try to revolt and your country plunges into economic turmoil and you get a...
I was about to say, and then the military gets pissed at you doing all that. The armed forces.
It's so fun.
And the thing you good at the game, not only do you get to crush your own landowners, you can also look over at other countries that are actively going like no exports allowed and fucking over your economy and just going, hey, intelligentsia in that country, you want to be in charge?
I would like you to pass this law. Open market. You don't want to? You will open the market. My military says so. Both options are valid. Yeah, I love Vicky 3. Vicky 3 is like... It's like crack. It's unhealthy, but it's so addictive. And I was gonna say, Jits, to be fair, I will still admit. Hoi 4 is the easiest of them to get into nowadays, probably.
So true.
EU4, I'm gonna be my hot take. I still kind of like it more than EU5. EU5 is fine. It's just a very heavy simulation, more so than
EU5 just needs some time to cook. It needs to go the way of all Paradox games, where you give it like a year or two to cook, and you're just like, damn, they had some chefs in there.
Yeah. Or, you know, it'll be like Vicky 3, where you're still perennially disappointed that it's not yet quite at the Vicky 2 level.
Yeah, looks over at my 4,000 hours in EU4.
Yeah. Well, EU4 had like over a decade to cook, and I'm not gonna lie, it was getting really good by the end. It was just running into like core engine limitations.
Oh yeah, no, it was literally they pushed that game as hard as and far as they possibly could. Which is why I am and was very excited about everything to do with EU5. In my opinion, it'll need some more time to cook, but I am so excited.
Yeah. I don't know how much I'm down with like the core fundamental direction they're taking. But, you know, maybe. Worst case scenario, there's always EU4, so not the end of the world.
Like if I ever feel like going back to it, I'll just play EU4 and I won't have an issue. But also like EU5, like being able to sit there and just go, man, do I really want to fight this death war and have all of my peasants die and not be able to harvest my fields? You know what? Fuck that guy. They're dying too.
Sometimes your peasants are a worthy sacrifice.
Sometimes it's not about what you get, it's what your enemy loses.
So true. Damn, see, sometimes I look at you and I'm like, wow, that's a dragon. And then sometimes I look at you and I go like, wow, that's why I like you.
Pat pat.
Meanwhile, me over here, just casually moving my city to go take over all of these resources that are now free from ownership.
Don't worry, someday we can get you to play Victoria 3 too.
I would be happy to.
My condolences.
Unironically, I had a play group where we did the Vicky 3 nights, where we would do shit like we all play in South America.
So I will.
The main thing holding me back is owning it.
I will.
Do I have a spare key? I might actually have a spare key. I'm not sure.
Vicky 3 is definitely one I would say if you can play with Tal. Easy. The nice thing about it, if you play at least with a person or two, is you both get a very big backup and you get to play off of each other, because one of the most incredibly cool things is because you're both working on different countries, you two can have completely separate game experiences. But if you so much as join the same market, your economies are one and the same. If one of you causes a shortage of something by accident, the other one will feel it. And that already makes it absolute peak when it's like, hey, I'm gonna change my production. What happened to the coal? Oh god, oh fuck.
Where's the coal? Why did you activate boilers? No. You still have peasants. Why did you activate boilers?
But at the same time, like, you do also like get a very nice backup in international, because I'll admit the AI is actually a little bloodthirsty nowadays.
Oh yeah. Well, it's extra hilarious because most of the time the AI will be fairly reasonable with what it does, and then sometimes they will just act like a raving maniac, which makes it pretty realistic, actually.
America, I declare war on you. I would like New York. Who are you, Brazil?
Sometimes they'll just do that. By the way, I sent you a code. It should be a valid thing for Vic 3.
Why is Brazil trying to take New York? I don't know. Oh God, why is their navy the largest in the world?
Well, looks like I'm getting a new setup.
Oh dear, Zim. I'm fascinated because I feel like you're either gonna bounce or we're gonna see 300 hours of Victoria 3 and CGF in 1 month. You have
I think he'll like it
go either
because
way.
a lot of the time you can just sit there and look at all of your economic shit going on and just do economy bullshit, and then realize, hey, wait, I'm actually really strong now.
Dude, okay, to provide just a little bit of context, one of the things Vicky 3 did that's a big difference to Vicky 2 is in Vicky 2, if you have a province, it produces a thing, and unless something changes it, like this province produces coal, and it produces coal depending on infrastructure, you can build railroads, and depending on how much population there is. There's a few other bonuses, but that's mostly what matters. So if you have a province with like 100,000 people, it'll produce a lot of coal, and then you put a bunch of railroads in it, it produces even more coal. That's it. That's the extent to which you can control the economy. Victoria 3 got rid of the individual provinces mostly, and now you have states. So like in the state of Texas or in the state of New York, you can support, for example, 20 iron mines. You put a few thousand people in the iron mine, it makes you a certain amount of iron. And you manually can affect it.
Story. Tome of the Crimson Rain.
Blood carries greater power than mortals may think. Does the blood of the Archons not carry their essence? Do we not use blood as payment for our magic? Blood is where the soul resides. And so we drink to fill the void within. For the gift of the old blood demands souls to sacrifice. And we have long spent our own.
Lovely. Alright, you're good.
Yeah, so basically Victoria 2 does like by state construction. And the neat thing is you can manually do it. So in Vicky 2 you had very little control over that, but you could build factories. So you would focus on like procuring the raw resources by international politics, colonies, conquest, however you could, and then feed your nation's resources. And then your factories would eat from it. In Vicky 3, you directly can go like, I need iron, let me build an iron mine in New York, and then I will build like a steel mill in Michigan. And that level of fine control of the economy is really nice, especially early game when you're just kind of trying to figure things out. But you run into this really big problem where later on in the game, you don't really want to be doing everything. You want to just be making the core parts of your economy. Like, hey, I'm planning a massive military expansion. Let me manually build up a bunch of arms factories. But you don't want to still be doing like, all right, I need to build iron and coal mines so I can build steel mills so they can feed the arms industries. You don't want to be doing the whole thing.
That's
that
what
was
other
really...
countries are for.
I
said that's what other countries are for.
Exactly. But then what they did, and I really love this change, they introduced a private construction. So like, depending on your economic loss, and you will always have a little bit of it, like all the rich people in your country, all your aristocrats, your investors, your capitalists, everyone who has money, they put money towards an investment pool and they invest in those kinds of buildings. So now...
Excuse me. What? This
Someone trying to
cheeky
vassalize them.
dwarf says I have lost this war? You little... I respect the hustle, but I'm going to decline.
Is it because you're moving your city?
I have no idea. Possibly?
Probably not.
What I do know is, yeah, I ain't losing this war, buddy.
Average strategy gamer. But yeah, basically, people in your country put money towards building things. They like building things that are profitable, and they rework the system so that every country has a bit of private construction. It's just kind of how much you have. So now, once you get later in the game and you have a bunch of rich people, a bunch of money, and a bunch of construction, you don't build everything yourself. Your capitalists go like, oh, you're building steel, you're building arms factories, and the price of steel is going up. Let me build a steel mill. Oh, now that we built a steel mill, the price of coal and iron went up. Let me build iron and coal factories. So like late game, if you're running like a laissez-faire economy or you're running not a command economy, your economy basically half runs itself, and you just intervene to like fix any weird issues in the economy. And I can attest, like I was playing Venezuela the other day and I was just sitting there and I did some early game economy to fix it, and then I just kept mildly intervening whenever they broke it. But I kept looking at my GDP and it just kept going up.
Yeah. Because note, if you let them do that, they will spend their own personal hard-earned money on that bullshit in order to build all those factories for you, instead of you taking money away from, let's say, your military budget.
Yeah. It means they own it, so they get most of the profits. Like, it's still good if, like, you build a gold mine, because then you can earn that revenue, and you can also earn the revenue from the gold mine. Or, like, if you build a really profitable factory, you as the state can get some of the revenue. And that's nice as an additional source of income.
But it
But
also
later-
means that a lot of the time you don't need to bother with building a lot of the lower level, barely profitable shit, because they'll take care of that for you.
Exactly. And if you just don't care, like, late game, a lot of your money comes not from owning a profitable factory, but for the fact that, like, 15 factories open in your country because you have a very high literacy rate and you have a lot of like good profitable jobs in factories, and all that tax money makes you so much money. And then, you know, now later in the game you're fighting the industrialists because you want to put taxes on like progressive income and they don't want it, and you're like, please let me tax you more, I need it to finance my war, and they don't like you. And then you unlock communism.
And then you either get rid of that shit entirely or you dive right into it.
Exactly.
There is no point doing anything in between. Because if you do anything in between, you have 2 rebellions instead.
I do really like the co-ops though, because like it's just it's laissez-faire, but I get to tax them. It's a nice in between.
Don't mind me as I just, you know, casually take all of this territory.
You are despicable.
And in a few turns, I will have, you know, a whole bunch of new toys. And thank you,
You know,
Gib Gab, I know. Yes.
Sometimes I want to play multiplayer games with you, partly either to like help out or to like be a nice ally, but I sit here looking at this and going, I don't know if I want to play multiplayer with you in this build. I like to expand slowly in this game, and I feel like I'm gonna look over and half of the map is gonna be desolate, empty wasteland. Have you ever seen that movie that's like they put the cities on giant vehicles and they roll them around and they eat other cities?
Yes.
It's you, literally you.
Yes.
It's like, oh, where did the city go? Oh, he ate it. What do you mean? Like the city's gone. He ate the land. He ate the farms, the forest, the fields, everything. The city ate it all. We call it London.
So now there are 9 resource nodes that in 10 turns will be part of my city.
Disgusting.
No. Beautiful is the term for it.
I have to give them credit. Genuinely, so far it looks like one of the most well done systems for this that I have seen. Because usually these kinds of like nomadic playstyles and whatnot tend to fall off really hard compared to like, you know, a static settlement, because they get to stack bonuses and the like. The fact that you could just infinitely eat more things and keep them is... It's amazing
wonderful.
how well... I get it, because Age of Wonders? Eh? I see what you did there.
That is not what I did.
That's
That
you
is what
said.
you did.
You said wonderful.
Yes, and I said it as just using the term. You made it a pun.
It just, I don't know, the fact that like they actually doubled down and went like, okay, yeah, we will let your city grow forever if you really want. So long as you're willing to put in the hard work, why not? And you can just do it. It's so insanely based. I love it so much.
I just took, you know, the age-old saying of the world is your oyster to a very literal meaning of that.
The world is your oyster. What do you mean? I ate it.
Yes.
Finally, we have found them. John SimCity. City himself.
You asshole. You dare take my vassal from me?
How many
Wait,
cities
why
are
did you get access to that anyways? You have only 2 people left, and they've still got a 5-stack army here. What bullshit are you pulling? I call bullshit.
Lol. Says the one eating the map.
It's fine. It's fine. I will go take it back.
It's fine. It's fine. Gonna pack up this gold pine. It's fine. This material is mine. Cosmic damage. Sounds like a freaking Bloodborne item.
Yes, I like this. I'm gonna take it.
Cosmic. Where's Cosmo when you need him? Cosmo damage. Oh yeah, let me unpause that part where I was distracted. So anyway, in short, I reiterate my argument, bans him for crimes.
I am committing no atrocities.
I don't see you were committing an atrocity, just a crime.
Or that.
Well, I disagree with the fact that you're not.
Ah, but you admit it's a fact that I'm not.
I disagree with the fact that you're not. I disagree with that being a fact. Fundamentally. At like an essential level. Ooh, big ship. I like it when big ship. I love the huts because the hut cartel is just like, yo, these ships are old, but you know what? They still do the job. Proceeds to throw like a multi-hundred-year-old design against the Star Destroyer. And the worst part is then you just win anyway.
Well, I'm going to make this city mine.
Ah, Pet City.
Yeah, I've got some. They're a city of bunnies, so I'm just making them my pets.
Oh, Tanya City.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to work.
You what?
I don't want to go to work. Like tomorrow. Bleh.
Understandable.
Bothaway shall be mine. Kind of sucks to play the hut sometimes. Because I sit there being like, what the f is that ugly bastard? Oh, that's just the hut. Yep, it's just that. They're just horrifying.
No, I definitely gotta go with Grave March. Conjure 4 corpses of, oh, they're corpses of them. Well, that sucks. But, basically, every turn a random corpse on the battlefield becomes, it gets resurrected, under my control.
Oh. Sounds delightful.
Absolutely does.
Hey, yo, I blew up the New Republic Senate. Let's go.
Nice. Apparently that's how democracy does.
To the hot cartel.
Yep. Hey, congrats on the shiny Balasar.
Hey, yo.
Hold on. What the fuck? Immediately reveal the full world map. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm just aware of where every army is now. I don't actually get to see through the fog of war. However, I can...
Yeah, I think it says... Yeah.
Thought it was able...
It'd be neat if you could see through the underground too now, too, though.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, so I can see how many there are, where they are, and who they belong to. And it does apply to the underground as well.
See, that's useful. Now you know if someone's just fucking hiding down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now the dwarves are at war with the Cthulhu wannabe. Well, Cthulhu wannabe, they're mine. Yeah, I guess I have no use for scouts anymore. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh. I'm interested. Apparently Vicky's finally getting a next bigger expansion.
Nice.
Ship designer. And it releases on April 20th, 2026.
There we go. I have freed my vassal.
How does it feel?
Eh.
How much did your vassal mean to you? Teeny little bit of vassal.
They have served a decent purpose. Granted,
They
that
have
purpose is
served.
basically just, you know, they get attacked instead of me, but...
They have served their purpose. They served me.
Exactly. Oh, that was the ruler for the dwarves.
You bonkin'. Oh yeah, I forgot. I now see what the funniest thing I've ever done in Vicky 3 was. Uh, you know how if you build a farm, farmers will farm, right?
Yeah.
I was playing India and I managed to independence, and I had built up a large agriculture industry because Britain. And then I did two things. The landowners revolted, blew them up, got a bunch of people in power, mostly very like radical reformer kind of things. I passed big democracy. And then I passed council republic. And then my farmer group took like 99% of the vote every single subsequent election. It turns out when most of your country is farmers, you let them vote. They just vote for the farmers. Who would have thought? Yeah. And because the farmers owned the farms, they had all the money. So, oops. I just got stun locked into a farmer's republic. Maybe I'll play Bolivia. Do a bit of Peru, Bolivia.
I finally have a tier 5 weapon for my ruler.
You do?
Nice.
Bloodletter of Zombies.
Very nice. Meow.
Pat pat.
Dirk, 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 dirk. I really should be ending the stream here so I can go get to packing and stuff. But I'm having fun.
Understandable. I almost respect it.
Ooh, their capital is a little more well defended than I thought it would be. So maybe let's not go in there with only my 2 armies and instead go in with the full set of armies.
They agree. You should do it. Do it.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
Ha! Let's go ahead
what?
and claim a bunch more nodes that are gonna be made mine.
Doki. Doki. Do it.
Let's see, anything underground? Oh, hey, there's a mine down here. And a mana node. And an iron deposit. Ooh, another mana node. I established my city, and that is... ten new nodes that are going to go into the city in 10 turns.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this faction.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, unfortunately, I do need to call it. I gotta go get to doing some packing and stuff. So, as much fun as this is, everybody, thank y'all for joining us today for the stream. That was Age of Wonders 4. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel, that you can also do so by going and checking out our tabletop games over on Spotify, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, or bringing your friends by. But for now, thank you so much for joining, everybody, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.